She left him alone, with 5 little kids and nothing but debt. 10 years passed. Then one day, she came back, and what she saw left her absolutely speechless. It was a cold morning when everything changed. Michael woke up expecting just another day, coffee, breakfast, chasing the kids to get dressed. But when he reached for his wife's side of the bed, it was cold. Empty. At first, he thought she was in the kitchen. She wasn't. Instead, there was a note on the table. 5 words that crushed his heart. "I can't do this anymore." She had left. No goodbye to the kids. No explanation. Just gone. Michael stood there in silence, 5 pairs of little eyes looking up at him, confused, scared, and waiting for answers he didn't have. His youngest, Jamie, was only a year old. His oldest, Emma, had just turned 10. And now, he was all they had. He didn't cry. He didn't scream. He just took a deep breath, walked into the kids' room, and said the words no father should ever have to say. "Mommy's not coming back." That was the beginning of a new life, one filled with struggle, sleepless nights, and quiet tears. But also, something else. Determination. Michael made a silent promise that morning: "They will not suffer. Not on my watch." The first few weeks were chaos. Bottles spilled, diapers exploded, homework was forgotten, and school lunches were a mess. Michael had no idea what he was doing. He had always worked. His wife handled the home. And now, he had to do it all. He burned toast. Forgot school picture day. Got kicked out of a PTA meeting for bringing his toddler who wouldn't stop crying. But slowly, day by day, he figured it out. He learned how to braid Emma's hair. How to calm Jamie during his nightmares. How to cook pasta 5 different ways because that's all they'd eat. He picked up night shifts. Drove Uber on weekends. Cleaned houses during the day. And still made it home in time to read bedtime stories. There were moments he wanted to give up. Times when he cried in the bathroom so the kids wouldn't hear. But then they'd smile at him. Or draw him pictures that said, #OneDad. And it gave him the strength to keep going. He wasn't perfect. But he showed up. And sometimes, that's the bravest thing anyone can do. 5 years passed. Michael didn't have much money. But his kids were thriving. Healthy. Happy. Kind. He kept everything running like a quiet machine. And then, something unexpected happened. A neighbor posted about him on Facebook. She wrote, "This man has raised 5 kids on his own for 5 years. He's a real-life superhero." The post went viral. Suddenly, local reporters showed up. People donated clothes, food, even money to help him and the kids. Michael was overwhelmed, but grateful. He used the help to buy a second-hand van. Got each child a proper bed. Took them on their first real vacation, to a local lake. It wasn't Disneyland. But to them, it was everything. He didn't ask for the attention. But people saw what he was doing. And they were inspired. Single dads aren't always celebrated. But Michael? He was impossible to ignore. As the years passed, Michael didn't just survive, he started building. He opened a small handyman service, teaching his older kids how to help. They painted houses, fixed fences, mowed lawns. Word spread. "Call Mike. He's honest. He'll show up." And slowly, they built a reputation. A business. Stability. Emma, now a teenager, helped with the books. James, the middle child, became a genius at social media. Even little Jamie could hand Michael tools. It wasn't just work. It was family. They learned how to depend on each other. To lift each other up. They weren't rich. But they were strong. And every night they'd eat dinner together. No phones. No distractions. Just stories, laughter, and love. The house that was once filled with tears, now echoed with joy. One ordinary Saturday morning, there was a knock at the door. Michael opened it. And froze. It was her. The woman who had walked out 10 years ago. Their mother. Her hair was shorter. Her face was older. She looked nervous, unsure. "Hi," she said. I came to see the kids." Michael didn't yell, didn't slam the door. He just stared at her. Behind him, Emma stepped forward. She looked her mother in the eyes. "You left," she said. "You don't get to just come back." The other kids stood behind her, quiet but strong. Michael didn't have to say anything. The strength he built was standing right beside him. They let her in. She sat awkwardly at the kitchen table, glancing around the home she once ran away from. Pictures covered the fridge: birthdays, vacations, silly faces. She wasn't in any of them. Michael poured her tea. Not because he forgave her, but because he was kind. She explained. Said she was overwhelmed. That she never meant to stay away that long. That she had made a mistake. Michael listened. The kids listened. But it didn't erase the years. Jamie didn't remember her. Emma remembered everything. Still, they talked. It wasn't easy. There were tears. Silence. Pain. But something surprising happened too. Closure. She said, "I never thought you'd survive without me." Michael smiled softly. "We didn't just survive," he said. "We lived." She left again that night. This time not running, but understanding. She saw something she didn't expect. Not broken kids. Not a bitter man. She saw a family. Whole. Strong. Beautiful. The next day, Michael sat the kids down. "Are you okay?" he asked. Emma nodded. "We don't need her. We have you." And that's when he realized he'd done it. He didn't raise victims. He raised warriors. They weren't missing anything. Because love raised them. And love never left. Time moved fast. Emma got into college, full scholarship. James started his own marketing business at 18. Jamie wanted to be a chef. They each followed their dreams, but always came home for dinner. Michael never remarried. Never complained. He said, "My heart's full. I don't need anything else." And when people asked how he did it, he said, "One diaper at a time. One day at a time. One bedtime story at a time." He wrote a book, Dad of 5. It became a bestseller. He spoke at schools, on podcasts, told other single parents, "You are enough." Because he had lived it. Michael didn't just raise his kids, he changed his town. He started a nonprofit for single fathers. Helped them find jobs. Support. Courage. He showed up to courtrooms to support dads fighting for custody. Helped build a shelter for parents and kids escaping abuse. People said, he could have been bitter. But he chose better. Michael wasn't just a father. He became a symbol. Proof that strength doesn't always shout. Sometimes it's silent. Steady. Unshakable. He never asked for recognition. But he earned every bit of it. 10 years ago, he was abandoned. Today, he's admired. Not because he had it easy, but because he kept going. He raised 5 amazing kids. Built a business. Inspired a nation. All without giving up. And when that door opened again, he didn't seek revenge. He showed what real strength looks like. Forgiveness. Grace. Dignity. So if you're watching this, wondering if you're strong enough to make it, let Michael's story be your answer. Because even when everyone else leaves, you can still rise and build something beautiful.